Well, the wild boar have definitely been in again during the 10 days we were in the Corbière. We've just got back, and that's where they get through. No doubt about that. So I've got to do something about that. A lot of thistles have sprung up during our absence and getting in the way of the path a bit. So I think it's time to get the lawnmower out. Mowing the lawn was another thing that Olivier used to do. In fact, he really loved it. And I don't really mind doing it myself either, but I wasn't going to rob him of the pleasure. So he's been doing it all the while, and now I'll have to be taking over. Amazingly, it started after only the 4th tug. Viking, very good. We actually had a bit of a disagreement because he loved it so much that he wanted to mow absolutely everywhere. But I think this grass is lovely, so I wanted to keep it. And eventually we reached a sort of compromise. So now there's a demarcation line roughly about here, and the top end of the garden remains wild, and the bottom will be mown to look like Wembley Stadium. The thing about Olivier we discovered quite by chance really, only about 4 or 5 years after he'd started doing our garden. My wife was in town on a Sunday morning and she saw him in a suit and tie walking along the pavement with a couple of elderly people, and she didn't recognize him at first because he wasn't in his gardening clothes. So next time he came, she said, "Oh, sorry, Olivier, I saw you the other day in town. I didn't recognize you. You must have been with your parents." And he said, no, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, and I was just, well, I don't know exactly what he was doing, trying to convert them, I suppose. To his credit, he's never tried to convert us. Probably saw that it wouldn't have much effect. A few years ago I had a couple of women coming to our gate with sort of luminous round red faces who were very friendly. They were Jehovah's Witnesses too, and they gave me a few leaflets to look at. I never let them in. They were very nice. I actually have the outline of a story which I started before we met Olivier, in which there is a woman who's a Jehovah's Witness and there's a gardener, and now we have a gardener who's a Jehovah's Witness. And so my training continued throughout the heat of the summer, and towards the end I made a quite extraordinary discovery about the running track. And that's the subject of the next video. À bientôt.